Stitches, how are we all going this afternoon? Okay, let me just come through here and make sure that everything is working. Okay, I have audio there, which is always a good start, and that means that I can then come through and, hold on. Don't you love it when things just don't go quite the way you want them to? Okay, let us see. Here we go. Okay, good afternoon. How are you doing today? As always, I am Julie Hall, and I am very happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend. Can you believe how close we are to Christmas already? I am on a power drive at the moment. We've only got today and then next week to finish off these fantastic quilts. And I am thinking I'm going down to Melbourne on the a couple of weeks before Christmas, and I am going to be delivering mine to my mother-in-law, I'm thinking, as part of her Christmas presents. And I can see we've got Nancy Cook. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nancy. Okay, so it's going to be a fairly quick one. Today we're looking at stitching all of the blocks in that one hoop, which is fantastic if you've got the larger machines. I'm also going to spill a little bit of tea on what next year is going to bring for us, and hopefully get you guys as excited as I am about it. Okay, let's come and get into it. I need to... Okay, here we go. So, here we have... And Nancy, I hope you are having a great afternoon. So, here we have the wash away thread again. And sorry, I lied a little bit to you there. I'm doing these blocks individually in my 5x7 hoop. In my mind, I'm just working on the wrong block. So, wash away thread, which really has been the most amazing thing to use on this quilt. It really has just saved my life and made it possible for me to work on these blocks and not have them move. And the other thing that I will tell you is I am on, because I've had a lot of people telling me that they are going to be doing a lot of their stitching on these blocks over the Christmas holidays. And if you're going to do that, fantastic, but make sure you purchase your threads so that they come from the same dye lot. And I've used 2 spools. I've gone into a second spool each of these threads. So starting off with, of course, my pink. And what's everybody else been up to? I've had a great weekend this weekend. I've been digitising a new project for next year. So one of the things that I am focusing on for 2024 is to do less, but to do it better. What I mean by that is I've allowed myself to get really caught up in the love, and it has been an absolute pleasure doing a lot of the in the hoop projects and things like that. I absolutely love doing those, but I also think that one of the things that they're taking away is our skill building ability and our, what's the right word that I'm looking for here? Just that whole thing of learning something new, really making the most out of our machines. So those are the things that I'm looking on focusing on next year. And one of those things, from the joy that I had in doing the bubble baskets, which if you haven't seen them, check out the video because they are fantastic, is the concept of stitching the pattern in the hoop and then sewing the project together. So I'm looking at a couple of projects that are actually going to follow that. And I can see we've got Kathy Chellingsworth watching. Thank you for joining us, Kathy. And that's one of the things that I'm looking at doing next year. Okay, so I've got my pink outline here. And now I can come through and load up my next thread colour. So one of them is, and the teaser post that I put out last week had it with, now, can you believe this? How long is it going to take a girl to thread up for the next colour? Okay, here we go. Takes me a bit of a minute. Great wireframe bag. Now, I am loving that I've stitched the pattern for those pieces, for each of those pieces out in the hoop, and I'm stitching the lining so that I'm able to have a quilted waterproof lining on there as well. And I'm really looking forward to being able to share those sorts of things with you. And focusing on the other parts of our machines as well. So I'm always going to love the embroidery side, but learning how to make the most out of some of the other parts of our machines is also a great thing to be able to do as well. For instance, I'm using my sewing machine this afternoon to make clothing tags. My sister-in-law sent, from Queensland, sent clothing for my mother-in-law for Christmas. And that is fantastic and wonderful. I'm happy to take it down for her. But because she's in an aged care facility, everything needs to be labelled. So I bought some tape, and instead of writing on it, I'm just going to use the lettering, not even the embroidered lettering, but just the regular stitching lettering in the machine, and stitch out those labels. So as I do it, I'll record it, and so that you guys can see just how easy that one is as well. Unfortunately, then I'm going to need to hand stitch the labels on. And good afternoon, Maymuna Kassam. Thank you so much for joining us. I apologise if I have got your name incorrect, but I appreciate you being here to share with us. The other thing that I'm really looking forward to sharing, and I'm about to try and become one of those 5 a.m. people to get some done each day, is sharing with you digitising skills and running an actual digitising class throughout 2024. So and the reason that I'm dropping all of this on you guys is because if you are like me and your loved ones are sitting there asking what they can get you for Christmas, things that I always tell stitchers to ask for is either extra hoops for the machine. For instance, if you find yourself always using your 8x8 hoop or your 5x7 hoop, get the family to splurge on an extra one of those hoops for you. They will never go astray. Digitizing software is always a great one. And you know, if it's something that does interest you, and I mean, I am very good at the digitizing software that I use, ego aside. I also know that the artistic digitizer that is out there, I absolutely, and I have it, I am going to teach myself that and probably record myself teaching myself it so that you guys can come through with me and we learn together. And of course and you guys have seen, I've been putting up specials on the electric scissors, on the tagging gun kits, on the stitch erasers, things that are all brilliant gifts that the family could give you. And I don't know about you guys, and I struggle at this time of year, and I know my family struggle because it is my birthday next week. And I know my family, you know, want to show their love for me, and I appreciate that. I'm a love language of an act of service sort of a person. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good toy. And I've got the family giving me, or Edward has bought me for my birthday. Hopefully I'll be able to show you guys next week, because I am planning on asking for it early, and I know it's arrived. He did actually offer to give it to me 2 weeks early when it arrived 2 weeks ago, and I said no to that, but I'm hoping to be in a place where I want to play with it next weekend, is a drawing tablet. So I'd bought one for myself early this year, but I'd stupidly bought one that was just way too large. Took up way too much space, so I've gone for a 14 odd inch one. So Edward has bought me that, and I'm really looking forward to that, because it does just give you then so many extra options with playing with your digitizing software. And good afternoon, Dee Dee. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us. So how about you guys? What, as stitchers or as crafters, what crafting items do you love asking for, or love it when your family give you as gifts? And we're on to our beautiful green. And look, I'm loving this green. I didn't think I would like these colours as much as I am. And I still really just love the texture in this quilt, being able to run your fingers over it, being able to just feel those different textures. And that's one of the reasons that I think my mother-in-law will really appreciate it. You know, I mean, she's 89 years old now. She is in an aged care facility, but just something that's going to brighten up her space. Now, although there's only 3 colours, we actually go through 5 colour changes in this block. And this is the only block that actually does that. There's such a zen to it. So the other one is, what's everybody's plans for Christmas? I mean, we are now coming up to 29 days till Christmas. Are we ready for it, people? I did finish. Oh, did he? That sounds lovely. Just got back from a weekend retreat. Oh, very nice. Thankfully I did it early enough in the morning that it wasn't a huge issue. I am finding things that are changing. And so now we're back to our pink, and then we're going to finish off again with the green. So because the girls are generally working on a Saturday morning, I've had to change how Edward and I even sleep in, I guess, for lack of a better word. And we both decided to get up yesterday morning and take the girls. So normally I get up, take the girls to work, and then Sunday's my sleep-in day. And Edward takes Grace if she's working on Sunday. But so we took the girls into work yesterday, and then we got sort of the last set of presents that we needed. So I managed to get a good price on a set of sheets for Cameron's bed as part of his Santa sack thing. So he's moved up in bed to a queen size bed, and unfortunately, he has been using my beautiful, fairly expensive, lovely quality sheets, which means and I only own 2 sets of sheets for each bed, so when I go to change mine, there's generally not that extra set there. So I bought him his own set of sheets for his bed, and then I can suggest that he go out to the sales and buy himself a second set. And then we also got, he's getting to that stage in his life where he's trying to save up for a house deposit. So he's asked if we would, buy things for him, like the quality pots and pans. So I went in and I got the 6-piece set of scan pans on sale yesterday for 200 and something. And then, for Christmas and for his birthday, we'll include, a pan or two as well. So I've done that one. And then we were getting stuff for Edward's mother, I'm doing like a 12 days of Christmas thing, and getting 12 smaller gifts and wrapping them up so that she has something there, because unfortunately we can't make it down to Melbourne this year because the girls are turning 18 on Christmas. Oh, look at this though. Isn't this stunning? Now this is also one of the more dense blocks when it comes to stitching. Like, there's more stitches in this block than there are in others, and I love that about it. Okay. So for those of you stitching or making presents, how are you doing? I finished my tea towels yesterday. I'll show you those once we're finished. Now I've just got to make the shortbread, and I'm thinking I'm going to make a batch tomorrow and show the girls how I do it, and then that can be another chore for them this week because they have, of course, finished school. Okay. And now we go back again to our green. Now, you'll notice even though I'm doing the larger block, what I am doing here is I'm only doing one block So I'm doing a 4-piece block, but I'm only doing one at a time. And that is because of the movement as you stitch. I really don't want any of that movement. And then I'm trying to find here an idea of the... Don't you hate it when you know you've got something somewhere, but you can never quite find where? And I know I've got a picture here somewhere. And these little love hearts are just so cute. Oh, Dee Dee, you've been doing towels now. Have you been doing the, what was I going to say? Have you been doing like, as in towels with names, or... Now, do any of you have that friend who you share a lot of stuff with on Messenger? I have one of those friends, and I know I sent them a picture of an idea that I had. And so now I'm terribly interested in trying to find what I have done. Okay, now let's come through and put it together. Okay, so here we have our finished block. And I've removed all of the water-soluble thread. And what I've got then is I've got my backing fabric, and I've got my wadding, and I've got my quilt top. And what I'm going to do is quilt through all of these layers. Now, what I like to do... it's always recommended that you come through and drag up the bottom thread. The other way of getting around that is do your first couple of stitches outside of that space. Now, I'm using the Janoni ASR foot, which I just adore. And what that does is it gives me beautiful, regulated stitches. So all I'm really concentrating on is how quickly I'm moving my fabric. And you'll find as you go around doing free motion, we always go better in one direction than the other. For me, I always do a nicer job going forwards than I do going backwards. So that's what I concentrate on. Trying to make things smooth, but I also utilise the ability to turn my fabric around so that I don't have to do that as often as I otherwise would. So, tricks to free motion. Use is always good. If you need to relax yourself, a red wine never hurts. I come off and my block is all stitched. You can't really see the detail on the back, but that's kind of what you want. And I'm ready to now trim it up and get it ready to put into our... Okay, so nice and easy. Oh, Dee Dee, I totally agree with you. Towels with names are just the perfect gift. Okay, so let me show you. And when I say towels, so I had shown you guys that one. I've also done the cookie tester, the believe in the magic, naughty, nice, and I tried, reindeer games, and don't open until Christmas. And that's going to be the basis of my of Edward's gifts for those he works with. The people I've been working with, I'm hoping if I can get a good stitch out done of the project that I'm playing with at the moment, that will make a nice gift for the person who employed me. And then I'm going to add to that just like some homemade shortbreads for the team on our final day at work. Oh, thank you, Nancy. That's lovely. So, as I've said, I absolutely adore this lovely quilt. If you are waiting for Christmas to do yours, and it's not a bad one to power through because it only requires those 3 colours. You could do it sort of over that 2-week period. Now, the other thing that I do want to show you, and I'm sorry I'm turning my head from you, if we come in to... So, this is... I just wanted to make sure I had some audio there. This is a mock-up of what I'm thinking of as next year's block of the month, but it won't just be a block of the month because it will also be something that will be part of a digitising class as well. So those who want to digitise their own, I will take you through the steps on how I digitise each block as we go through. So it's just one out there, just, start thinking around it. I could see this in a really pale pink. I could see it in blues, and I could really, really see it in this gold and then red together. So that is just one of the things that I am playing with at the moment. Ah, yes, I do love it when things work. So that, oh, thank you so much, Memusa. Thank you very much. So that is what I am working on this week. When we come back next Sunday for our last class of the year, I will be showing you how I am putting those final borders on and getting this darling ready to give to my mother-in-law. I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, have a stitching day, guys. Bye.